Hello, writers. Come write with me. My name is Michaela Greenwood. I create worlds for mind adventures. Welcome to my channel, Write with Michaela. I'm very excited to have you on my channel, so don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell so you can go on this journey with me. Today is story time, or the day of our chapter exchange. If you're writing with me and you wish to exchange chapters, then send your chapter or your writing prompt with written permission to writewithmichaela@gmail.com. I will post the email address at the end of the video and in the description below. I'm looking forward to reading your chapters. All chapters or writing prompts read on the channel, whether they are mine or another writer's work, are copyright protected material, and no one may use any part in writing their own stories. The story is PG-13, so if you're under 13 years of age, you need parental guidance. This story is in its rough draft stage, just as the last stories and writing prompts we've heard. The title of this story is Elementals, and today we're reading chapter 4. If you would like to read along, then send to the email I stated earlier, request a PDF of the chapter. Make sure you're specific. Now let's start. Elementals, chapter 4. Home. Maybe. Alex opened her eyes. She was in the middle of her living room in her apartment. She looked around. Oh, that was weird. She looked at the clock. It was 6 in the morning. I'm never telling anyone about that dream, and I'm glad it's over. Alex picked up the controller and turned on the TV to get some news. The voice on the TV rang out. A cop is missing. A group of cops were following Eddie Von Nell on the south side of town. They entered the forest to Comet. Well, they found Eddie, and he is in custody, but they lost radio contact with Detective Alexandria Godin at 7:12 last night. They have combed the woods all night. The TV continued. What? Exclaimed Alex. When she went to run her head over her hand, she felt her bandage. She went to a mirror with a slight limp and looked. The bandage did not look professional, like a nurse or doctor had done it at a hospital. She shook her head to herself. She thought perhaps she had twisted her ankle in the woods. Her wrist was tender, and so was her shoulder. She knew she must have fallen. Oh, well. I better call Sarge so they stop looking for me. I wish I knew how I got home. Alex picked up the phone and dialed her boss. She was going to tell him she was home and she had a bump on her head. She bent down to look at her ankle, but when she went to pull up the jeans, she saw a pair of holes. The phone rang and rang. Alex raised her pant leg and saw 2 razor-thin lines, and her ankle looked swollen and had purple lines on it. She would need to get an ice pack or maybe a shot to counteract the poison. She looked around her apartment. How did she get in? Did someone have her keys? Then she saw the stick. She reached down to pick it up. Hello? Alex jerked awake. The horse was standing watch over her. You cannot talk to others when you go back like that, the horse said simply. Talk to others? Asked Alex. I'm going in and out of reality. I must have really got quite the concussion. She felt her head. It was still very sore. No worries. You're home now, said the horse. I'm not home. You are an elemental. My allies hid you. We were hoping all 5 came together to... Wait, said Alex. I'm a cop, a detective. They're looking for me. People are worried. That is home. It is still night here, said the horse. Why don't you rest some more? Alex decided the horse was right. She needed more rest, and maybe she would wake up for real. Sergeant Davis stood looking at his phone in his hand. You okay, Sarge? Asked Lieutenant Michaels. Sergeant Davis looked up. The caller ID was Alex's home number. He put the phone to his ear again. The call is still active. He held out his cell phone to Lieutenant Michaels. Michaels, listen. There's no sound other than the TV. I know. The only other thing I heard was a crashing noise like the breaking of glass. Do you want me to go check it out? Asked the lieutenant. Is Stellers back yet? Asked Sergeant Davis. No, replied Lieutenant Michaels. Then I'm going with you. You can radio him as we go. They headed out. So long as the call is active, you should listen, suggested Lieutenant Michaels as they got in the car. Sergeant Davis put the phone to his ear. Lieutenant Michaels flipped on the siren and sped down the street. He radioed in the station to give a message to Lieutenant Stellers to meet them at Alex's apartment. When they got to the apartment, another cop car pulled up behind them, but otherwise the street was empty and quiet. Lieutenant Michaels briefed them. He asked Sarge if he had heard anything. Sarge shook his head. Then Stellers pulled up behind them. Sarge attached his headset to his cell phone. He needed his hands. The cops put on gloves. If this was a crime scene, they didn't want to contaminate the evidence. Then they pulled out their guns and headed up the stairs to Alex's apartment. They were about to bust open the locked door when Miss Donaway saw them. I have a key, she said. Sarge nodded his head. Still no sound other than the TV, he said. I hear the TV, said Stellers. Does she watch TV? Not often, replied Michaels. Cops were getting nervous while they waited on the old widow. She finally came back and unlocked the door for them. Sergeant Davis then told her they had it from here, and she should go back to her apartment and lock the door. They waited to enter Alex's apartment until they heard the lock click. They pushed in the apartment while looking this way and that. They had their guns ready. They were soon to the living room with the TV. Michaels turned off the TV while Sergeant Davis carefully picked up the phone out of the glass table out of the glass table off the coffee table. He clicked it off and clicked off his headset. Sergeant Davis motioned him on. Michaels went to the bedroom. He called to Sarge to say Alex hadn't made the bed, and that surprised him. Sarge had looked at Michaels, and he shook his head. He turned to put Alex's phone back on the charger, but then Sarge stopped and examined it. He noticed some blood on it. Griffin, he called. Lieutenant Griffin came back. Make sure this gets to the lab. Sergeant Davis said as he showed the blood. Griffin took the handset and headed back to the cop cars. Lieutenant Devers came in the room. There isn't anyone here. Should we at least dust the place for fingerprints? Yes, replied Sergeant Davis. Lieutenant Michaels went back to her room and then came back. Sarge, I can't find her gun either. I found her cell, stated Sellers. Sergeant Davis had started towards the bedroom. Turn back. Give it to the lab. They can see what number she dialed and who called her. Stellers headed out. Sergeant Davis and Lieutenant Michaels searched the bedroom. They lifted the covers and the pillows and opened the drawers. A missing gun was serious. It startled Alex to find herself in her living room again. She thought perhaps she was sleepwalking, and she remembered that wasn't a good thing. She stared at her coffee table for a minute as she put her hand to her head. This was not a good day. Then she saw the stick. She definitely was not touching that stick again. She briefly thought of how to set a fire to it without touching it. Alex rubbed her sore shoulder and rotated her swollen ankle. She found the remote and turned on the TV. It was 7:45, so all the news should be repeating. Davis and Michaels froze when they heard the TV. Davis was closer to the door. He eased to look out. Alex! He exclaimed. Alex jumped and turned around. Sarge, what are you doing here? And Lieutenant Michaels, she said as Michaels walked in. Where have you been? Asked Sergeant Davis. I don't know, she said. Her hand went up to her bandage. She turned to the mirror to look in. She turned back. I don't know, she said again. I just woke up here. I guess I was sleepwalking or something. Sergeant Davis was concerned, especially now that he noticed the bandage on her head. Maybe you got amnesia, he suggested. Alex shrugged. Maybe. I guess so. She wasn't going to tell them anything about her dream. Sergeant Davis took the controller from her and turned off the TV. As he said, I guess you remember me and Michaels. Hey, what's this? Asked Michaels as he reached down for the stick. No! Screamed Alex. Don't touch! Okay, writers. That is the end of chapter 4. Leave a comment on what happens when Michaels touches the stick. Leave a comment on Alex's habits the cops think they know. Leave a comment on sleepwalking. Have you ever walked in your sleep or had a child that walked in his or her sleep? I know when I was growing up, well, there was that book Heidi that I think she sleptwalk or whatever. I'd have to go back and reread the book to make sure, but I think the notion was that it was dangerous to wake up somebody while they were sleepwalking, so you were encouraged not to do that. I don't know how true it is, but leave your comments on sleepwalking, what you know about it. Have you ever sleepwalked? Do you have a child that has sleepwalked? Any of those comments. Join me Tuesday for some jargon. Join me Wednesday for a book club discussion of 1984. Join me Friday for chapter 5 of Elementals. Visit my website, bymckella.com. Read some character bios. If you read some, then leave a comment on which ones you have read. All of your comments will help us start conversations and build our community. Keep all comments respectful, and remember, someone else's perspective can help you with your writing. So I mentioned the perspective that my Chinese friend gave me about the couples. So that opened my mind a little bit. So perspectives are good, so don't discourage perspectives. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell so we can continue to write together and have a higher chance of finding this video in this channel, since your likes will push the video out to a greater audience. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate your participation. If you know someone who would like this video, please share it with them. This is Mckella with Write with Mckella. Bye for now.